All right, a defense that has yet to give up a touchdown through 2 games is probably a defense that has gained much confidence despite its youth with a trip to Norman, Oklahoma next Saturday. Mark Rogers TV just a few minutes after the Buckeyes of Ohio State disposed of Tulsa 48-3. It wasn't that easy for Ohio State. First play of the ball game for Tulsa, they come out throwing, and Marshawn Lattimore picked it off. So the pass was intended for Kevin Lucas. He deflected it, saw another Buckeye right in his sight, maybe anticipating the hit, the big hit. Lattimore picked it off. The Buckeyes all good to go at the 16-yard line. The route was on, right? Not necessarily. That interception was a theme for the rest of the day, but also the Tulsa stop of the Ohio State offense right there at the 16-yard line, also a theme as the Golden Hurricane held tough defensively for a long, long time in this game. So the Buckeyes forced to settle for a field goal, and that's all they could muster on offense for a long, long time. It was 3-0 at that point. It was later 3-3, and check out the Ohio State attack early in this game. 4 plays, 4 yards the first drive. 4 plays, 29 yards, and a fumble. 3 plays and 2 yards before they punted, then 3 plays and 5 yards before another punt. That was the Ohio State offense the first 4 drives. But the defense held firm and broke open the game near the end of the first half. That guy, Malik Hooker, with the amazing interception against Bowling Green. I'm sure you've caught the highlight, the race from the other hash mark all the way across to the right sideline, the one-handed interception, juggling, falling to his back to the ground, and catching it with the other hand. That Malik Hooker, with a score at 6-3 Ohio State, fairly late in the second quarter, came to the rescue, broke on a ball, and reminiscent of the interception against BG, he raced from the other hash mark on a slant pattern and picked the ball off and raced all the way to the house for the touchdown, 13-3. Okay, Tulsa at that point still in good shape. The defense was playing remarkably well, holding up against the Ohio State offensive line and running back Mike Weber. The Buckeyes generating next to nothing on offense, no explosive plays in the passing game, but a bad move by Coach Montgomery for Tulsa late in the first half. Okay, get the picture. It's starting to rain. The storm clouds are rolling in. It is starting to really come down. Less than a minute left in the first half. Tulsa's inside its own 20-yard line facing a rugged Ohio State defense with the defensive line, the D ends with their ears pinned back. They tried a little dump pass, a screen off to the left side that was tipped and almost picked off. They should have learned their lesson there. But no, with 45 seconds left in the first half, again, pinned back inside their own 20, they went downfield in the rain, just started pouring rain. Badly thrown ball by Dane Evans, probably lost the handle on it, because if you compare that pass to the previous passes thrown that were sharp, fairly tight spirals, may have lost the handle on the ball. There was no reason for them to think that they could drive the ball down the field in the rain against an Ohio State defense. Intercepted by Marshawn Lattimore, who brings it all the way back for a touchdown that really ended the game. Ohio State, despite the offensive ineptitude through the first half, led 20-3. Hooker with 2 interceptions this game, or actually the 1 pick 6. So he's now got 3 interceptions through the first 2 football games this season. Marshawn Lattimore with the pick 6. And later in the game, Gary and Conley had an interception for the Buckeyes, 4 picks for the Buckeyes on the day. And that ill-fated decision by Coach Montgomery at the end of the first half. And he's doing a remarkable job with this Tulsa program that was 2-10 in 2014. Montgomery took over. They won 6 games, almost upset Virginia Tech in the Independence Bowl. So the program's in the right place. Bad move at the end of the first half, and Tulsa was done from there. But the Ohio State offense still had much to do in the second half and a lot of work, and probably got a pretty good tongue lashing from Urban Meyer at halftime. They came out in the second half and were committed to running the football with Mike Weber, and they did. The offensive line woke up. The offensive line for the Buckeyes pushed around, stalemated in the first half, overmatched at times in the first half by the front 7, and particularly the front 4 from Tulsa. surprising, but that was the key to Tulsa staying in this game at 6-3, almost to halftime before the interception. So in the second half, Weber takes over. He finished 17 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown as the Buckeyes really came out fired up on offense to finish with over close to 500 yards in total offense after being basically shut down in the first half. Curtis Samuel, one of the great playmakers in college football. Exciting to watch this kid play. Just a nightmare of a matchup for defenses. 8 carries for 78 yards, 5 catches for 62 yards after he had 250 total yards from scrimmage last week. Not a prolific game for JT Barrett, 14 of 22 for $148, but no interceptions this week. And now he, of course, heads to Norman, Oklahoma for the Buckeyes' big matchup with the Sooners. Okay, who are the biggest players in this matchup coming up with Oklahoma? JT Barrett, Mike Weber. Yes, of course, all those guys are going to be key. Guys like Raekwon McMillan on defense, the secondary against a Baker Mayfield. Are they going to generate a pass rush against the Sooners? All those things come into play heavily. But what about the Ohio State offensive line? Pat Elflein, one of the best in the business, did move from guard to center. He's still breaking in there. Billy Price, one of the better blockers up front in the Big Ten as well, moving positions at right guard. They had 3 new starters. Michael Jordan up front, the freshman. Also, Jamarco Jones, we saw him struggling as the Buckeyes struggled in pass protection on a few plays of JT Barrett on the first several series that we outlined. And Isaiah Prince as well, who's a redshirt freshman. The Buckeyes offensive line has been the weak spot through this game, certainly, and they're going to have to tighten it up against Oklahoma next week. For Tulsa, there will be better days for the passing attack of Dane Evans, who threw 25 touchdowns last season, only 8 interceptions. In this game, a rough one. 15 of 32 for just $128, 4 interceptions, no scores on the day. But with Kevin Lucas and Josh Atkinson at wide receiver, Tulsa will be a threat in the American Athletic Conference. Buckeyes, Sooners, Tulsa's got North Carolina A&T next week. Would love to hear what you think about these two football teams heading forward right here on Mark Rogers TV.